The translucent figure materialized again at another doorstep, her form shimmering like heat waves over desert sand. Zixthera clutched the small bundle closer to her chest, what remained of her offspring, dying from a disease no Valkyrian medicine could cure. She had traveled across 3 star systems to reach Earth. Guided by whispers in the galactic underground, humans possessed something unique, something the advanced species had lost millennia ago. Compassion without calculation. Anthony wiped the grease from his hands, squinting at the security monitor. Third time this week, something weird showed up on his porch. Living alone, on the outskirts of New Seattle, had its perks. But apparently, it also made him a magnet for the strange. He watched the alien woman at least. He assumed it was female rock, what looked like a child wrapped in bioluminescent fabric. Not my problem, he muttered, turning back to the engine he was rebuilding. The garage was his sanctuary, where broken things made sense and solutions came with wrenches. Not emotions, but the knocking continued. Soft, persistent, desperate. Across town, Evelyn reviewed the reports for the 15th time. As Earth's liaison to the Galactic Council, she'd been tracking the unusual energy signatures appearing randomly across the planet for 2 years. The pattern made no sense. Residential areas, always at night, always brief, no aggression, no communication attempts logged through official channels. It's like someone's going door to door, her assistant had joked. Evelyn hadn't laughed. In her experience, when aliens ignored protocol, it meant either invasion or desperation. And this felt like the latter. Anthony finally yanked open the door, ready to tell whoever, or whatever, to get lost. The words died in his throat. The alien woman stood barely 5 feet tall, her translucent skin revealing a complex network of what might have been veins or circuitry. But it was her eyes that stopped him, large, multifaceted, like a dragon, and filled with an emotion that transcended species. Fear, grief, hope. Please, she said, her voice emanating from somewhere within her body, translated by some unseen technology. 2 years I have searched, 217 doors. You were the first to open. Anthony's jaw tightened. Lady, I don't know what you're selling. I sell nothing. I beg for everything. She unwrapped the bundle slightly. Inside, a small creature barely the size of a human infant lay motionless, its chest rising and falling in shallow, irregular breaths. Its skin flickered weakly, like a dying star. My child, Kix, she is dying. Something in Anthony's chest cracked. He'd spent 5 years avoiding exactly this, the messy, complicated emotions that came with caring. After losing his daughter to leukemia, he'd sworn never to feel that helpless again. There are hospitals, he said roughly. Doctors, I'm just a mechanic. Your doctors turned me away. Say her biology is incompatible with treatment protocols. That helping her might violate 53 interspecies medical regulations. Zixthera's voice broke. But I have studied humans. You do not always follow rules when hearts are breaking. Anthony stood frozen. Behind him, his workshop waited, safe, predictable, empty. Before him stood every nightmare he'd tried to escape. He should close the door. He should come in, he heard himself say. Evelyn's transport touched down 30 minutes after the energy spike registered. She'd traced it to a residential address, prepared for anything from an illegal tech operation to a kidnapping. What she found was a greasy mechanic and an alien mother huddled over a dying child in a garage lit by fluorescent lights. Stand down, Evelyn ordered her security team, reading the situation in an instant. Sir, I'm Evelyn Chen, Earth Council liaison. What's happening here? Anthony didn't look up from where he was carefully scanning the alien child. With a handheld medical device, the kind used for veterinary work. Happening. I'm trying to figure out why this kid's cellular structure is breaking down. Whatever translation tech she's using, the readings suggest it's some kind of autoimmune cascade. You can't just. There are protocols. Yeah, she mentioned those. Anthony's voice was sharp, real helpful. Those protocols. While everyone's busy checking boxes, this child dies. Evelyn moved closer, her official objections warring with the scene before her. The alien mother's desperate hope, the human man's determined focus, the dying child between them. What do you need? She asked quietly. Anthony's hands stilled. He looked at her, really looked, and saw not the bureaucrat, but the person underneath. Access to the galactic medical database. Real access, not the sanitized stuff they give Earth. And a biologist who doesn't care about their career more than a life. Evelyn pulled out her communicator. I'm going to lose my position for this. Yeah, probably. She smiled slightly. Good thing I became a liaison to help people, not to keep a job. 3 hours later, the garage had transformed into an impromptu xenobiology lab. Evelyn had called in every favor she had, pulling together a team of specialists willing to risk their credentials. They worked through the night, human ingenuity and stubbornness pushing past barriers that advanced species had accepted as insurmountable. The breakthrough came from Anthony, of all people. "It's not a disease," he announced, staring at the readings. "It's an evolutionary trigger. Her species, they're designed to adapt to new environments through symbiotic exchange. But there's nothing here for her to bond with. She's not sick. She's starving for connection. Then we need to provide compatible genetic material for bonding," one of the biologists said. "But human DNA is right here." Anthony rolled up his sleeve. "Are you insane? The integration could kill you both, or save her." Anthony looked at Zix. 2 years you knocked out. Someone needed to answer. The procedure was delicate, dangerous, and entirely unprecedented. Anthony's genetic material, filtered and modified, introduced to Kixmora's failing system. For 10 agonizing minutes, nothing happened. Then the child's skin brightened. Her breathing steadied, and slowly, like dawn breaking, she opened her eyes. Zixthera's cry of joy needed no translation. Evelyn documented everything, knowing the fallout would be significant. But as she watched Anthony awkwardly hold the now stable alien child, while her mother wept with gratitude, she understood something the Galactic Council had forgotten. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology, or their adaptability. It was their refusal to accept that some doors should remain closed, that some rules mattered more than lives, that impossible meant don't try. 2 years of knocking, 217 doors closed by fear, regulation, or indifference. One door opened by grief transformed into courage. That, Evelyn thought, was exactly the kind of thing that made humans terrifying and wonderful in equal measure. "What happens now?" Anthony asked, still holding Kixmora like she might break. Zixthera touched his face gently with her translucent hand. Now I teach the galaxy that humans do not just open doors, they open hearts, and that changes everything." Outside the garage, the first light of dawn painted the sky in colors both human and alien eyes could appreciate. Inside, 3 species, human, and something new born from desperate hope, proved that the most advanced technology in the universe couldn't match the simple power of one person saying, "Come in."